All right, good morning. This is Assistant Principal Juan Castillo here at Pasquotank County High School. I actually decided to start the broadcast about 4 or 5 minutes early in part. I actually have to administer an exam today at 8:30, so today's broadcast is going to be fairly short, but I didn't want to go ahead and go a week without it. So good morning for those of you out there. I know it's early. This educator's drinking coffee. I am drinking, again, Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Um, it's good. I think I'm a little addicted to it, or at least it's probably because I have an abundance of it right now. I'm trying to get rid of it, so um, it's good. It's a medium to light roast, and I think that's my preference, really. So, anyways, it's Thursday. Uh, March 18th. It's incredible how time flies. Already a quarter of the way through the year. 2021. Well, this week it was pretty much announced with our board that we're going to be coming back under Plan A, which means minimal social distancing. So families, good morning, Mr. Harrell. Families, if you're out there listening, remember there was an email sent. Morning, Ms. Schuler. An email sent by Ms. Crutch and probably the district as far as for you needing to fill out a Google form to see what you want your child to come back under, whether it's Plan A, which means coming here to school face to face, or remain virtual for the remainder of the year. So please make those choices. They are due by Friday. They are hard deadlines. And this evening here at Pasquotank, we're going to be having a parent meeting. So anybody who's from Pasquotank County High School, please join that meeting. Ms. Crutch will conduct that meeting. If you have any questions about the way school is going to look like, the date is after spring break. I still don't know exactly for sure if it's going to be that first day after spring break or whenever, but there's still a few things we're not 100% sure of, but we know it's right after spring break. The kids are coming back. We're excited. We're nervous too. It's been a while. And the reality is, listen, as teachers, we, from last March, we had to adapt like in a matter of a week. Now, again, we're having to adapt in a matter of, a couple weeks. And it's not as simple as many people think to kind of just go back to face-to-face, because this time we are going to have face-to-face students and students that are virtual at the same time. And I know other school districts have done it, but for us, it's going to be new, at least here at the high school. I know our elementary folks will probably have already done it. So we definitely can use advice from anybody out there who's either in one of the elementary schools or just in another district where you've been doing, the dual face-to-face and virtual. I did a little research in the last couple of days about it. As far as the what to do when you're trying to teach face-to-face. A couple things I came across was, one of the things said, which is kind of a little bit what we've been doing now, is doing what's called the flip classroom, where you provide the kids the content before, and when they come to class, that's when you really kind of answer any misconceptions or anything, or clarify any misconceptions. So, but one of the main things I saw is, of course, how to keep both the face-to-face kids and the online kids engaged. And one of the biggest things was really breakout rooms came out. I think just kind of show you, at least I looked at 3 different articles that I looked at, and they all talked about breakout rooms and about one of the best ways to have kids engaged. And that means having breakout rooms with the kids that are in your classroom along with the kids at home. Because I think what's going to be what can easily happen is, as a teacher, when you're in the classroom, physical classroom, and you're teaching with the kids physically there, it's going to be easy to forget about the kids that are behind the screen. If you're only talking about, maybe 11 by 14 little area that's housing half your students. and how do you remember them? So having lots of breakout rooms. So teachers, I think if you haven't done breakout rooms, the next couple of weeks is a good opportunity for you to kind of try doing some of those, because I think looking at these, that's one of the main things they talk about. The other one that came across a lot was actually having roles for kids, and especially the ones that are online. Having a researcher, having a timekeeper, those kind of kids really give. Good morning, Mr. Rosas. You say you've used it a lot. It helps get some of the more students more confident. Yeah, I do, and it reminds them that, hey, I'm still thinking about you. Your role is important. Just because you're not here doesn't mean it's not. So consider roles. If you're starting your morning, consider one of them be your morning DJ person to start off, and have a little bit of music, whatever. Also, reality, what happens, when you're among friends, and this is kind of going off subject a little bit, and then you come up to a subject matter like, hey, good morning, Trinica. Like, man, I can't remember what was the name of that band in the 80s, that sang Once Bitten, Twice Shy, whatever it is. And you're like, and here's actually one of my guests that I asked. Good morning, Miss Crutch. How you doing?
Doing fine.
Good. I like how you enter the broadcast, because I didn't send you an invite today. You know what to do. You know what to do.
I was afraid because your avatar appeared. So I was like, okay, is his face going to appear with my name? I don't know about that. Good morning.
Morning. I was just talking to the audience a little bit about, I did a little bit of research in the last couple of days about, this new thing that we're, as a school here, we're faced with now, having to teach face-to-face and kids online at the same time. Okay. I know elementaries have been doing, other school districts, but for us, it's new. And the couple things that was pretty prevalent in all three things was using breakout rooms. Really helps kids engaged. The other is having roles. And I was talking about folks here, like, sometimes when you have chats with friends and you can't think of the answer, what's the first thing you do? You Google it. Well, have a researcher in as one of your roles. When you guys come across something unknown, have one of those kids at home be your researcher. So Mr. Rosa says it's something he uses and it works well. It helps kids engage. Some of you already use a lot of these interactive things like Kahoot, any kind of poll thing to keep kids, again, the ones especially at home, because it's going to be a little bit easy, because all the ones at home are housed in a little, 11 by 14 screen. Mm-hmm. One other thing that actually came across was, if possible, with teachers being able to connect their laptop to their their LCD screen projector, and be able to almost project on the wall, and the kids at home see what's on the wall, and but at the same time on your computer be able to monitor the chat. So be able to have two separate screens. They do suggest that. A couple of these actually suggested, but again, that's resources, is another camera showing the class for the kids at home, because the kids at home are only going to see the screen, the board, but it seems so they can see, maybe their friends are there in the classroom. So I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
We have we did purchase cameras for desktops, so that might be a possibility. I'm sure you could just put another camera on your laptop, possibly. So the first thing that you talked about with the LCD projector, we already have that capability, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they have the document cameras too. So between all that, they can toggle. We may need to see if sometimes there is like a thing that splits it. Mm-hmm. And we may need to look at that if that is a possibility. But so just talking about some of the things that I saw here, and one of the biggest things was also talked about really setting the routines and procedures, exactly how you want the outcomes come to you, or to demonstrate it via online, via face-to-face, and that everybody understands that. So there's going to be a little reteaching of those initial procedures, even though we've done them separately, but now I think letting everyone know at the same time. So I had told folks here that we are going to have our school meeting this evening. So I don't know if you'd want to share more about that.
Yep. So we're going to have a town hall meeting this evening at 6:30. I sent an invite to all staff members and to all students. So it's an invite right through the Google Calendar. So I think it'll probably remind you about 10 minutes before 6:30. Also put it on Parent Square. Haven't put it on the website just yet, but it's just to give some general information about what I know so far about Plan A. Again, the goal is to get kids in here by April 12th. I believe April 12th will be the first day, unless they make that a teacher work day. But again, right now, first day will be April 12th. And just like Mr. Castillo said, one of the things that we're working on is how do we make the most out of this opportunity? How do we ensure that we're still able to do both? It's a little bit scary, a little bit different, maybe a little bit more work, but it definitely is important for us to have as many kids as possible. I think everybody has said that since the beginning. And so to me, this is a one step closer to possibly, having all the kids back just like normal, or almost like normal, if that makes sense. And so it's important for us to talk through these things. And that's how we get ideas and how we move forward, because it's nearly impossible to do alone.
Yeah. And the other thing I kind of mentioned, and I was trying to see if while we're here talking, is the Google form we have shared. I think the district probably has too. I'm not sure.
Well, I shared it again, Parent Square. I did not share it with students because I want parents to actually fill it out. There is a tight deadline with that, though. The deadline is Friday at 5:00. And this form is important for all students. So if your parents want you to stay on remote for the remainder of the year, then that's fine. I know you filled out the form in October. I know you filled out the form in December, but we have the opportunity, you have the opportunity to come back Plan A. So we need you to fill the form out again, because not filling the form out makes us think that you don't know that you have that option. Okay. And so we need everybody to fill the form out, whether they want to stay remote or whether they want to come in for Plan A. And so I'll share that again at the meeting tonight. It's being put on the website. I don't know if it's up there or not just yet, but whether you are going to do Plan A or stay remote.
Yeah. That's
again, having sent it to students, I don't know that I will do that, because again, it's really important that the parents fill it out.
Yeah, and it's a hard deadline, so I mean it's important that it helps us also plan. So that's why it's very key.
Absolutely.
For us to know. And we're still, the masks are still going to be mandated. I mean, there's still a lot of safety protocols in place.
Mask, and one thing I want everybody to consider, teachers and students alike, when you're sitting at home or you're sitting in your classroom by yourself, you don't have to wear a mask. Like, we're not wearing a mask right now. That's because we're in our offices by ourselves. But when we have students back and we have students, all day, masks are a requirement for everyone, for students and for staff. So that part we'll have to get used to. But it's a mandate. And of course, there are other protections that we have. We have the face shield. And you can have two things. You can have the mask and the face shield. But if you only have one thing, it has to be the mask. You cannot just wear the face shield alone.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and I just wanted to remind some folks that next Tuesday, March 23rd, we are going to do our last round of the ACT. So, that's right. If we really want to, like I mentioned before, we're at about close to 74%. Have taken the ACT. Really want to get to that as close to 100% as possible. So all the students out there who haven't, you've gotten already an email from me. You'll be getting one tomorrow, so you can do your non-testing portion over the weekend. but yeah, we're getting set to do that. I can tell you, I mean, we're coming up to spring break in a couple weeks, and time, time flies after spring break. And
oh yeah, time flies anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But absolutely.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Today's broadcast is just going to be short because I do have to go administer a test. But no, I encourage every teacher to take this as an opportunity, or educators an opportunity for something new. This is where you get your opportunity to be creative, on how you deal with something new. It's, for us, it's not like we have a blueprint of this is exactly how you have to do it. I mean, this is where you can be creative. So take advantage of that. That's it's great when you have that opportunity to be creative. Tranika says,
"Oh, good morning, Tranika."
I did. I went last week when I went to Office Max to pick up an envelope, and as I'm coming back, she saw me. She was out there, so it was good to see her.
Good deal. Yeah. I hope you're well.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, that's it for today. Today was short. I appreciate you coming in, letting us know about the meeting tonight. Just come ask any questions. I mean, we'll answer everything we can. If not, we'll find out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right. Today's been short. I'm almost done with my coffee, Ms. Crutch. I don't think you drink coffee, so.
No, I have some water here though.
Water. What size is that?
Over 32 ounces.
32. My wife now is like, she bought one that's, what is it? Is a whole gallon. So it looks like that, but it's, oh my, like.
Right. I'm like, that's too much. I can't carry that around.
She just wants to make sure she drinks whatever ounce it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All righty. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone. And hopefully we'll see you next Thursday.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.